What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Okay, we're talking about the fear of letting go, and I'm going to come up with an OG video as well, probably tomorrow, today or tomorrow, something like that, so you guys can have a talking head video from me finally. So that's kind of what I want to do, is mix between the two, and then I have another channel coming out about how to make money online. I will announce that soon, and it'll be awesome, and it'll be for everybody who wants to learn how to do that.
The fear is, if I let this thing go, then it's not going to come around. If I let go of the outcome of something, then I'm not actually going to receive it. I'm not actually going to be able to get what I want. But see, that's the furthest thing from the truth. What actually happens is the more attachment we have to outcome, the more attachment we have to people, the more attachment we have to certain situations, the more resistance we also have. And think about it. Think to your own life. The more you've wanted something, the more you've tried to control the situation, the more energetically people can feel that. And the more off-putting it is to people as well.
Let me pause real quick and jump over here. So so basically that's the idea of like when will she come back? This is the number one question I get. I get this question all the time. When is she going to come back? So this is why. This right here is why. When you start to move on, when you start to date other people, when you actually let go of them. See, there's a point where in the first couple of months, usually, guys will say, I am going to let go. And they think that they do. But a little while ago, I'll probably try to remember to put the little card in the top, but it's called fake letting go. So many guys think that they're letting go and think that they're actually doing the right thing, but they're not. They're completely faking it. They still want the outcome. They think letting go will bring them back, right? It's such an oxymoron in covering this video, because if you don't actually do it, it won't work for you. And that's the issue. So when people fake let go, it doesn't bring you any results. But as soon as you actually do it, that's when they come back around. That's when they will message you and start putting themselves back into your orbit. Okay, this is kind of like how I always draw it. This is your energy and this is their energy. Okay, so again, you have different focuses going on throughout the day. But if you're completely focused on this person's energy, you're sending them energy, right? And they're focused on their life, friends, family, work, gym, money, whatever, right? And you're focused on her, for any of the ladies watching, this is him, her, right? If this is all your focus is, okay, then you're going to project your energy forward to them. Okay. But here's what happens when you actually finally let go, right? So when you finally let go, you are now focused on the same things that they are doing, right? Gym, money. That's why I talk so much about making money online with you guys, because I know so many of you guys watching need to focus on this particular thing. So many of you guys are complacent. I get so many emails and so many questions and DMs from you guys are like, hey, I'm interested in the money stuff. What do I do? What do I need to do? So that's why I talk about it a lot. Of course, smashing the gym is awesome. That's great. If you learn new skills and you apply these skills and you start, you can make a jump in income. So when you start focusing on yourself, okay, so this is why every coach says the same thing. Focus on yourself, right? So when you do that, now you're taking your energy and you're focusing it back on you. So everything that you focus on, that's why the law of attraction works, because when you say you are making money, right? You're delivering value and results to somebody else. That's what that's all about. Building a business is all about giving people value at scale, right? So then they give you money, and money will come and flow to you. Okay. I hope this isn't too confusing. So when you project and focus your energy, right? Because what reflects in the outside is what you feel on the inside, and what you think, all the stuff that you think and download and consume. When you focus on you, and then you scale up, you start understanding women, you start understanding attraction. I talk about this in almost every video. And you start focusing on your money, start focusing on your mindset, right? You do this, right? And then that's when they're like, hey, what are you doing? And it's always when you let go and don't care.
So it's actually like, imagine the universe is conspiring to give you what is in vibrational alignment to you. But if we're hammering in the vibration and the energy of, I hope this thing goes well, I hope this thing goes well, I hope this person gets back to me, I hope this happens, then there's resistance created. And also the energy is that right here in the present moment, right now, there's resistance. It's not where I want it to be. So the thing is the belief that's there is I must control what other people are doing. I must control how other people perceive me. And then what will happen is everything will work out. The thing is it's not how it works. You must actually let go to then allow things to happen smoothly. You can still have an intention, by the way. You can have an intention, but when the intention is also on a means to an end, that also causes problems. For example, if I have this intention that I'm going to be vulnerable to someone else because there's a conversation I need to have, maybe it's even a hard conversation to have. If the intention is I want this person to come around and understand me, and I want this person to act and be a certain way, that's attachment to outcome. And that is also a form of control. It's a form of manipulation that other people can feel, by the way, too. People can feel when someone else wants something from them. But instead, if my intention is I'm going to be vulnerable, I'm going to lead with vulnerability and share something that is kind of uncomfortable to share and see how this person responds. That's an end of itself. I'm being vulnerable because it's who I choose to be, not because of the result it will get me. Now, the interesting thing is that when you are vulnerable, that normally is a heart-opening experience. Other people can also feel that. And a lot of times when you lead with vulnerability, you create an opening for someone else to have an opening, and you go deeper with a connection. Now, in an interesting way, I'll share something with you that's somewhat vulnerable, but it has to do with some people on my team. It has to do with a certain area of my business. And there were certain things there was the situation that was happening where things just felt very much out of alignment. And basically what happened is the team and I got together and we decided that something was out of alignment, and we had to have this hard conversation with someone. And it was a conversation that was not comfortable. And the intention was, let's be vulnerable and let's see what happens. Because we just have to get it out. We can't let this energy go underneath. There's something that feels out of alignment. So the interesting thing was there were certain people on the team that wanted certain outcome, and there's certain people that wanted a different outcome out of this. Like, they had their own opinions about it. The funny thing is there was like this butting of heads on the team, and it was almost like the more attached to our positions we were, the more the other people could feel that, and the more this like tension was created. What eventually happened is all of us let go of the outcome. We let go and said, whatever's happened will happen, but we need to have this conversation. And we had this vulnerable conversation. And the interesting thing was that the moment we let go is the moment everything began to smooth out. The more we were able to open up, the more we were able to express this in a conversation, and it brought us all a lot closer.
So one big thing that I see people doing, especially, so I just want to tie this in. So basically a lot of people have an issue letting go because they are resistant. So when people are resistant, they are so focused. So one of my students, for example, will be like, okay, so when I do this, what will happen? When I do this, what will happen? And because they're outcome focused, right? They don't understand that they have to follow a process. Same with making money online, same with a relationship, anything like that. It's a process. It's a continuous process. And everyone is so worried about, oh my God, I'm not going to get the outcome. I'm not going to get the outcome. One of my students, for example, really needs to let go of the idea of just dating for a while. Okay. I'm obviously not going to say who this is. I have tons of students, right? And many of them have this issue in one form or another because they're so obsessed with women. Not this particular person, but dudes in general are so obsessed with women. And it's quite frankly, it can be quite annoying. Not them, but the obsession that dudes have with chicks. Now, I know that we're all supposed to be with girls, right? But the thing is, so many guys have been programmed by media and movies and go after the girl, go get the girl, right? You're young, You guys need to build your lives. Seriously, build up your life. Okay, I talk about the pillars, right? There are certain pillars that we all as men need to focus on. Okay, and this is why, again, I offer making money online so often. I know it's probably kind of annoying to you guys, but because you guys are here to learn about your ex and shit like that. But this ties in perfectly to all of this, because if you focus on, so mindset, skills, attraction, female nature, there's like all kinds of skills. I always forget them. To be honest, I should put it on my wall. When you understand skills, attraction skills, all this social circle, of course, all that, right? Wealth. So when you focus on these, then women will they'll, so imagine if this is your focus, right? Women will start to notice you. Okay. Now, yes, of course you have to go out and get them, you have to go and men are the initial pursuers. Then later on, when women are in they're in love with you, they chase you around a lot. Their feminine energy is just built that way. They want to connect with you and bond with you. So when you're in your full masculine and you're in your frame, okay, when you're in your full masculine, that's when they want to feel you. They want to feel your strength. They want to feel your, that's why they want to be around you so much. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why so many women think that that's a problem. Okay, because it's almost like they've been brainwashed into thinking that it's a problem for them to be vulnerable, just like Aaron's talking about. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's just what feminine energy is. Masculine energy is completely, it's different. Direction, goals, get shit done, ambition, motivation, gathering resources. So men do men things and women do women things. There's nothing wrong with this. I don't know where this narrative's coming from. Probably because there's a conspiracy theory out there that they want to destroy the home. But anyway, not women, but the powers that be, the media. When you focus on these things, okay, mindset, skills, attraction, female nature, social circle, wealth, relationships, which is a far off pillar, but relationships, right? That will happen. So imagine, you're working on your mindset. So first of all, mindset is the idea that you can control what you think, and you can control, having a growth-minded mindset instead of a fixed mindset is perfect. So that means if you're already a growth mindset person, like a lot of people have been reaching out to me about making money online, right? So I'm going to plug this now. So there's two options: low ticket, okay, which is a course with some help from me. There's a high ticket option, okay? A lot of people have been coming and talking to me about the high ticket option. So basically, let me explain what this is for you guys just really quickly, okay? So low ticket is like more entry level. So you're going to take a course, and this is going to be you on your own mostly. And then high ticket is done with you, okay? Done with you. So done with you is us doing it with you, okay? So we're going to focus, heavily on making money online. Okay, so we do this stuff with you. This will have some support. You won't be like left completely on your own, but this has a lot more support. But the high ticket option gets you results way faster. The low ticket option will, it's kind of like any course where instead of you having to look all over the internet to get answers, it's all in one place, and all the stuff that I've done. You have to have the right mindset to get there. But really what it's about is skills, right? Increasing and improving your skills. And then many of you guys are you're not optimized when it comes to attraction skills. So maybe some of you guys that's down here, you guys have to learn about that. Okay. That comes with the high ticket option, right? It comes to the low, we'll see. You're going to be able to improve your attraction skills and understanding female nature. Bam. You understand it's understanding the feminine, understanding what women want. Okay. It's actually so much, your relationships, which is this pillar here, is so much better when you understand the female nature part. What are women like, and why are they, because right now there's a lot of women running around with a lot of masculine energy, which means they're so focused on making the money. They're so focused on being a guy. It's almost like they're being a guy. That's why a lot of guys are just walking away from dating, right? But men are attracted to feminine women, right? And then social circle, your friends, wealth. When you understand this, so the skills part, a lot of people don't have the skills. That's what this is going to teach you. All about the skills, okay? So when you have a skill, then you can sell that skill. And believe me, guys, I screwed this up for a long time. When you guys have the skills, you can very quickly change your life. In 1 year, you can change your life from working a shitty 9-to-5 that you hate. 1 to 2 years, okay, depending on how hard you work. Again, how much guidance you have. 1 to 2 years, you can have a 6-figure income, which takes so much. And why do I talk about this so much? It takes so much pressure off of you. Because the thing is, when you have money, you can buy nicer clothes, right? You can dress better. You can eat better food. You can go to better places to eat, right? You can do whatever you want. So it relieves pressure. Pressure decreases, okay? So that's why I talk so much about that.
But the funny thing is there was because we had different perspectives of this situation, which I'm not going to go into the details of, it was like as long as we were attached to positions, we were each in our own way, the people that were thought this way versus this way would feel that almost like energy, and we're almost like banging heads against each other where we didn't get on the same page. The moment we let go and the moment we started trusting what is this sign telling us was the moment everything kind of flowed through. Now, that's sometimes what happens with reality with us, where we have a specific way we want something to happen. We have a specific way we want someone to respond. And what this energy ends up doing is it ends up creating resistance. It ends up repelling the very thing from coming in alignment with you. So the thing to understand about letting go is really about getting clear as to your own values for end of itself values. Now what this means is instead of doing something to get something else, which is called manipulation, instead of doing that, being a specific way because it's who you choose to be. And understand as well, when something comes into your reality, and when you become the version of you where it is natural for you to have what you want or what you desire or intend for, it's not this huge thing on a pedestal. So like I live in this reality where it is natural for me to make YouTube videos, where it is natural for me to travel the world, where it is natural for me to have abundance. It's not like, oh, I must make this, I must do this, I must do that. It's also probably because I've taken action a certain amount of time, so it's shifted my identity. But I've become this YouTuber version of myself that loves being this way.
Let's talk about that. I know it looks funny, but identity. So many of you guys are identified with the negatives. So many of you guys are too worried about the outcome of the relationship and where she's going to go. Oh my God, is she going to meet somebody else? You become identified with all the stuff in your life that is just negative and it's negative momentum, negative energy, just not pushing you forward. What I did with my life, and you guys might be able to relate with this, okay? There was a point in my life where I was like, I need to change. I was like, I need to change this because I was depressed. I was tired all the time. I was blaming everybody else for my problems. I was just not a good person to be around. So I was not a good person to be around. I said, I need to change this. The first thing I wanted to focus on was getting away from my 9-to-5. Some of you guys want to be in a great relationship. I don't care which order you guys do this. I personally think you should work on your finances and your cash. When you focus, right, on something, and you're let's say this is the thing you're focusing on. This is what encapsulates all of your energy. All the other bullshit kind of falls away. Now, again, you will be bothered a little bit. Sometimes things will just like come up and whatever. But if you have a really strict goal, right? You're like, I really, really, really want, like, let's say you want 10,000 a month, right? That was my goal for a long time. When you focus on that and you're just, all of your energy goes into something, when you do that, it changes everything. Because first of all, your mind's not scattered. That's the idea of what your identity is. When you become identified with becoming something. So the best question to ask is, like, just ask yourself, who do you want to be in 3 years? Okay. 2 to 3 years is a really good little time to change your mindset on things. Because here's the first question you have to ask yourself. Ask yourself this, is what you're doing working for you? Probably not, right? That's probably why you're watching this video, why you watch Aaron's videos, right? What you're doing is not working for you. So, who do you want to be? Okay, that's one of the best questions you can ask yourself, because what you have going on right now isn't working. So again, I suggest you going into money, understanding money first, because that will help blossom everything else out. And again, it doesn't have to be a crazy amount, guys. It's just, do you really want to be spending 8 to 10 hours a day at your job that you don't like, right?
And it feels authentic. Actually, it's starting to feel a little bit different now, because now I'm actually wiring in a version of me that is like doing live events, where I'm passionate about live events, not just making YouTube videos, kind of the same way I've been making them for years. And there's a fear that comes up with letting go of that old identity. If I let go of making 5 videos a week on YouTube, oh my God, everything, what's going to happen? It's brought me so much security and safety for so long, for 5 years. But there's this inner trust that I have, this inner knowing that if I don't let go, also, I think things will continue to synchronicities will continue to happen that creates a lot of resistance. Have you ever had that happen? There's something maybe you should let go of,
Yep.
but you hold on to it anyways.
Yep.
And then from holding on to it, there's just these negative synchronicities that continue to happen, almost just showing you like, bro, it's just time to let go, man. Let go. Let go of the outcome. Let go of what people think. Let go of this thing and allow things to come into your reality in a different way. The fear is if I let go, everything's going to fall apart. Because maybe as a kid, you let go of something and something sporadic happened. Something unknown happened and there was fear there. The power, though, is in the recognition that as you begin to develop a deeper sense of trust with yourself and a deeper sense of trust with the divine, you can then allow these things to go through. Like imagine if there's imagine that there's these infinite threads of reality, of where things could come into your life. There's literally like so many different types of connections, so many different forms of abundance that could flow into your life. But what happens is there's this insistence that I needed to come through this little thread over here. And also, it's normally a familiar thread that you experienced in childhood that simply feels familiar. So I need one of these three, I need these three threads right here. I need it to come through this way. And then through having the insistence on those little threads, there's all these other threads where magic and even situations beyond what you can imagine could come into your life, but you can't even see it because we're just focused on the three threads that a lot of times just feel familiar. When we talk about the divine, realize the divine, this connection greater than ourselves, has ways of bringing things into our lives that we can't even imagine. But our ego self, our avatar self, is fighting for familiarity. It is fighting to stay the same. It is fighting for what it knows and for what it thinks it knows. The ego thinks it knows, I want this familiar thread. I want this thing that I believe is going to be good, and this is how it's going to come into my life. Giving all these rules for reality, creating all this resistance, and only focus on these three threads, not knowing that if you let go and you started focusing more on end-of-itself values, and what I mean by that is just following your passion, having courage to jump into the unknown, having vulnerability to open your heart. As you start focusing on who you are being, you then don't have to be attached. Because attachment always comes from a means to an end. Think about that. If I treat this person this way, then they're going to treat me this way. If I tell them this, then maybe this will happen. If I do things this way, it's all means to an end. Manipulation. It's saying, I don't trust the universe. I don't trust God. I don't trust myself.
That's the main issue, not trusting. You're not trusting the process. You're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting the idea that everything's going to be okay. So many people are so resistant to the idea of letting go. They can't fathom. They don't like the idea that they don't have control. They don't like the idea that, but you do in a way. Because the sooner that you stop caring about the other person and what they think and what they're doing, and you focus, again, remember your energy, right? You're focused on you. Okay? That's you. You're focused on your energy, you know, what you're trying to become and who you're trying to become. That's what your main focus should be post-breakup. That's what you guys should be focusing on. That's what you guys should be doing. Who do you want to be in 2 to 3 years? What does that look like? Are you a person that is worried all the time? Are you a person that is open? Okay, growth mindset or fixed. So that's the idea behind this. You guys need to trust and focus on trusting what's going to happen. Because look, the more that you try to control things, the less you're going to be able to control. So many people try to control every little aspect of their life. Oh my God, this, oh my God, this, money, relationships. They try to control the other person. And the more free and open you are, the other people can feel that in your life. When you are open, you're not worried, you're not consumed with negative energy. Like, I've dated people in the past that need to know what you're doing all the time because they don't have security, right? Really insecure people need to have control all the time because they're so fearful, right? Let's find that. Right? They're so fearful. Somebody's going to leave them. And that's what Aaron's talking about as well. Having familiar, right? If you have a mother or a father that didn't pay much attention to you or maybe even left you, right? That's going to be something that you hold on to. That's going to be something that you're familiar with. So you're going to sometimes even seek that. Somebody who is, you might seek a partner who has a hard time focusing on you, right? They don't pay attention to you enough. You might seek that. Because you have fear. So somebody, and that's what you attract because you have so much fear. And what you fear, you attract every single time. So that's what the idea of letting go is about. Getting you up to courage. Think about that word courage, what that means, right? Aaron talks about vulnerability, right? Being vulnerable. I talk about being embodied and just understanding and being cool with the process of everything, the process of life, the process of money, right? Because when you're making money, you're giving to somebody else at scale, right? In a way, I'm giving myself and my energy to you guys. Aaron, of course, has, which gives me the opportunity to react to him and give you guys my 2 cents on the dating experience and breakup experience I have with my students, myself, and of course, Aaron's talking about things that are sparking my own. See, so it started with him. And then I'm giving my 2 cents. Of course, I have original content, but do you guys see how this works? Right? And then you come and you're looking at me. You like my content, and I'm covering him. So this shows, you guys, Aaron as well. If you want to go watch Aaron's videos, you can, right? So going up to courage is just about letting go of all this other shit down here that doesn't matter. Okay? And just worrying about where you want to go and who you want to be and who you want to become, and ascension. Okay? And just designing your dream life. Because you guys can have it if you let go of all this crap. You let go of all this and overcome, this is what your life will normally look like. Right? Yeah, of course, you're going to have some things that are just negative. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get away from it entirely. But you can use it as fuel. Okay? So in my program, I don't talk about this too much, but in my program, I have what's called a positive and negative dream board. I made one video about it, I think. But the reason why is you want to have that because you want to try to stay away from certain things. But you can say, for example, you don't want to be overweight, right? You can use that as fuel to get you to go to the gym or get you to fast or get you to focus on a carnivore diet or whatever it is, keto diet, whatever you guys want to do, right? You can use that as fuel to, I don't want to become that, okay? So then instead of being like, I got to go to the gym, you're like, some days you're just going to be like, I don't want to go. So what a positive dream board will do is it's kind of like, okay, you're like, this is where I want to go. And the negative dream board, which actually I recommend that you maybe put it in a binder and open it sometimes, that you look at it and you're like, oh, I don't want to be that, right? Because sometimes it takes a lot of energy to go to the gym when you're like, you know, you've been doing it for like 6 weeks and you're tired, you're sore, and you're like, oh my God, right? It's going to give you that extra push. And it's negative energy technically. Right? Technically it is, but you can use it as fuel. Negative energy is not always a bad thing. It's just, are you going to let it control you and control your life? So I think this video is long enough already. So if you guys want to watch the original video, please go and do that. I will link it in the description box below. Done.